There is a new power system that Oda will be focusing on in the near future. Oda introducing St. Figureland and the Holy Knights will open up an entire new level of power outside of Devil Fruit and Haki mastery. We know swords have different grades, but Oda has very lightly touched on the true capabilities of swords and katanas with higher grades in One Piece. First, Oda showed us that Haki can be mastered and turned into versatile weapons when used correctly. Second, he showed us the true power of awakened devil fruits with Luffy, Law, and Kid. I think lastly, he will focus on the true power of higher grade weapons. He teased it some when Zoro was learning how to control Enma while fighting against King. Now we are starting to see more sword users appear. The Holy Knights, St. Figureland, and even Noose Juro. I think we're in for another power system that will make it possible for non-devil fruit users to rival power users. In this video, I'll be giving my thoughts on the next sub-power system in the world of One Piece. I think we as a community aren't focusing enough on the power that these blades could possess. Now let's dive straight into the video. Let's start with the King of the Pirates. He's went toe-to-toe with some of the most legendary figures to ever set sail. Roger dominated the Grand Line with no devil fruit. Many people, myself included, found this to be an astonishing accomplishment, because we've witnessed Luffy, a devil fruit user, get knocked out time and time again by many tough adversaries in the Grand Line. So to conquer these waters with no devil is truly something special. However, Roger was a sword user. Like I said during the intro section of this video, I definitely think it's more to these swords. My theory that I still firmly believe is that certain graded swords in One Piece are alive. I definitely believe these swords do truly have a will of their own, much like Zoan devil fruits. To further prove this point in a Zoro flashback, we saw Kozaburo say, "A sword has its own personality. A swordsman must master it and bend it to his will." When he mentioned the part about a sword having its own personality, I don't think that was an exaggerated statement. This statement was in fact very true. It kind of reminds me of how Zoan devil fruit users have to learn to fully control their awakening, because the fruit will try to rob them of their personality. The same is true with swords in One Piece. We see Enma forcefully taking Zoro's haki and not bending to his will. Zoro has to then get a sense of control over Enma to finish his battle with King. What if I told you currently that Zoro isn't the only person in One Piece that is in possession of a blade that's alive? The other two confirmed people to my knowledge are Shiryu and Mihawk. Let's start off with Shiryu's blade Ryu. Oda hinted at this blade being alive during the pre-time skip, but I'm pretty sure most of us chalked it up to being a figurative of speech. Shiryu stated that his blade has a thirst for blood. This statement may seem like a generic villain statement, but it's not. Remember what I said earlier? Certain blades in One Piece are like Zoan devil fruits. They will try to rob you of your personality. I think this is the case with Shiryu. I don't think Shiryu kills people, because he wants to for fun. I think Shiryu wields a cursed blade like Zoro, and Shiryu now bends to his sword's will. In Zoro's flashback, Kozaburo said the swordsman must bend the sword to his will. It's the complete opposite with Shiryu. The Zoro versus Shiryu fight will actually be interesting considering they are like counterparts to each other. Zoro is learning to bend Enma to his will and stop it from draining his haki. Shiryu has bended to his sword Ryu's will and constantly feeds him blood. Now I'll be moving on to Mihawk. I bet you guys are wondering, how is Mihawk's blade Yoru alive? Someone in my comment section actually brought this to my attention. During Marineford, when Mihawk was preparing to take on Luffy, he stated, "Sorry, red-haired, but this power knows no restraint." Mihawk isn't referring to himself, but his blade Yoru. As the commenter on my video said, Mihawk can tame Yoru, but he can't restrain it. Mihawk himself may have been holding back, but Yoru's power is too much to restrain. I know some of you may be like, I'm not buying this, because Mihawk is supposed to be the world's strongest swordsman. He should be able to control the power of his blade. Actually, it would make perfect sense for Mihawk not to fully be able to control Yoru. If Mihawk was truly a rival and counterpart to Shanks, then this is perfect. Shanks in the present timeline is arguably the strongest hockey user in the series. Even when Shanks entered Whitebeard's ship, he himself said he couldn't restrain his hockey while in enemy territory. This goes to show you that in the world of One Piece, even the best of the best have a hard time controlling immense power. So if Mihawk was talking about Yoru when he said, "This power knows no restraint," that would give Yoru its own personality, therefore proving Kozaburo's point and making my theory right that certain blades in One Piece are alive. Now I want to talk about Saint Figureland and the Holy Knights. I'm expecting one of them to use a never-before-seen sword technique. My reasoning for this is Oda added them for a reason. If they piqued the interest of Dragon, then they have to be a different caliber of strong. Also, every time Oda plans on giving a Straw Hut a new ability, he lets their enemy preview it first. For example, Katakuri premiered Future Sight first, then Luffy went on to learn it. Cypher Pole displayed Skywalk, then Sanji went on to learn it. The Straw Hats go up against Azaru. Later, Frankie implicates laser technology into his arsenal. Do you see the pattern now? Something I realized about Oda is he does almost everything for a reason. I don't think he's adding Saint Figureland and the Holy Knights just to add more enemies. I do think they will be great for story purposes, but I also think they're being added to boost Zoro's power into god status like Luffy. Don't get me wrong, Zoro is strong, but do we honestly think current Zoro is beating Noose Juro, Kaido, or Gear 5 Luffy? It seems mythical Zoans are above everything else in One Piece right now. Saint Figureland or the Holy Knights will show us the true power of a cursed blade. Kozaburo did say if a blade is cursed, that means it's a great quality weapon. Maybe the Holy Knights will show us what it's truly like to unleash the entity within your blade. I think Oda hinted at the entity within Zoro's blade when he showed us the Grim Reaper scene. Maybe we'll get something like a Bankai awakening from Bleach. What do you guys think? Do you think there is something more to these cursed blades? Let me know in the comments. If you guys enjoyed this theory, make sure to share, like, and subscribe.